Good morning. It's a pleasure to have you join us today. You are watching Signature Morning. Today is Friday, the 12th day of September 2025. Thank God it's Friday. It's the weekend, Lillian.
Yes, it's my favorite day of the week.
I know. You're always anticipating the weekend.
Good morning, Uche.
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
Had a good night rest.
Yes, I did. It drizzled. I don't know if I'll call that rain.
The weather is looking, very dull, and it seems we're going to have a lot of rain today.
Of course.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I am Uchenna Chimdi Oluoha.
And I am Lillian Wali. Do stay with us because when we return, we'll head straight for our newspaper headlines and our review. From the Vanguard newspaper, World Cup, ex-Eagles demand NFF board quits if Nigeria fails to qualify. Entire NFF board must go, says Mikel Obi. Olise blames Super Eagles' poor run on foreign coach.
Ghana receives Nigerian West Africans deported by US on page 6.
And about ADC leadership, battle to remove Mark Aregbesola continues Monday. That's on page 26.
On page 27, Dangote Nupeng bicker over alleged breach of pact reached at DSS headquarters.
Citing interest of justice, a court asks chief registrar to sell escrow crude belonging to GHL, Corn Oil, and NPCL in FPSO Tamara Tokini.
On the Daily Times newspaper, strike imminent as Dangote breaks agreement, Nupeng on page 2.
Ansaru terrorist leader Usman backs 15 years for illegal mining, and troops rescue 17 kidnapped victims in Kogi.
Don't sensationalize Nigeria's debt situation, DMO cautions media on page 14. And on page 15, Africa's transition states need $210 billion for transformation. This is from AFDB.
NAFDAC seizes 1.2 billion naira worth of unregistered fake malaria drugs. And FG scraps 5% telecom tax, 171 million subscribers to benefit.
Looking at the Daily Trust newspaper, on the headlines, we have 2027. Jonathan meets Obi on page 5.
Nupeng Dangote deal collapses and Saru leader jailed for 15 years.
INEC shortlists ADA 13 others for political party registration. And on page 12, flood hits Abuja City, Katsina local government.
New tax law will raise airfares, operator says. 2 vigilantes shot hours after killing of 3 police officers in Kogi.
And finally, on the Daily Trust, Ghana receives Nigerian deportees, others on page 33.
And on the Punch newspaper, Nupeng, Dangote clash as tanker drivers deal collapses. Dangote refinery says union membership not compulsory as Nupeng ponders fresh strike. Marketers urge adherence to MOU. NLC warns refinery against agreement breach.
INEC shortlists 14 new party applicants, disqualifies 157. And court summons mark others over ADC leadership tussle on page 30.
5.6 trillion naira debt. Energy crisis looms as gas firms halt supply. And supporters await Fubara's London return ahead of resumption. And that's on page 7 of the Punch newspaper.
On the Guardian newspaper on page 6, we have open defecation crisis worsens, threatens 2030 sanitation targets.
INEC rejects 157 applications, clears ADA, 13 others for registration. Banks, FMCG customers, top FCCP sees 9,091 complaints and 10 billion naira recovery.
Implementation of 2025 budget begins in September, says federal government. And MRA faults attacks on journalists, urges intervention.
ADC split deepens as faction claims court bad Mark Aregbeshola, and MRA fought attacks on journalists urges intervention.
Lagos activates Ebola response system as DR Congo battles outbreak, and a court orders chief registrar to confiscate crude on board FPSO Tamara Tokini on page 27.
Another Tribune newspaper, fresh crisis hits Nupeng, Dangote MOU. Union accuses refinery of violating agreement. Union membership voluntary, Dangote refinery says we remain committed to FG's intervention. Nupeng operates, collects dues within our facility.
On page 17 of the Nigerian Tribune, Ladoja blames supporters for Ooni Alaafin supremacy feud. Tasks Ibadan Mogajis on drug abuse.
2027 political parties may rise to 32 as INEC considers 14 for registration.
Crude oil losses dropped to 16-year low. This is an NUPRC report. An FOI Act. Court orders Ondo government to release LG allocations. Commissioner's assets declarations on page 22.
And CBN unveils Vision 2028 to promote inclusive payment ecosystem. And that's the much we can take this morning on that headlines. Thank you for staying glued with us. And as usual, we're going to be reviewing the newspaper headlines with Chris Maduka. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Lillian.
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Uche. And good morning, the world and all the people watching.
Yeah.
Well, it's a rainy day in Enugu here.
Yes.
And we are feeling the cold. But whenever you're talking about headlines in Nigerian newspapers, the heat gets involved.
Yes.
You get
You
some
start to
energy.
feel hot.
Yes.
Okay, let's start from Punchy Punch.
Okay.
No, okay, from Vanguard.
From the Vanguard.
From Vanguard,
newspaper.
that's where we stopped. Well, on the football, for some time I have to quit football and all the associated things because they said, my father said, you don't have to have water in your mouth to blow the fire. Half a million half work. You don't discuss football in Nigeria when your stomach is empty because it involves energy of arguing which team has won, which one will win, and even sometimes you get involved in fights. So I stayed off. They said the bird knows how ugly it is, and that's why if he choose to fly at night. Also, so I know how my life is, so I stay away. But when the World Cup is involved, whether you want to talk about it or not, you have to. Now, the ex-Eagles are demanding NFF board to quit
If Nigeria fails
to qualify. My worry is, why are you praying for them to this? It's like you are praying already for. There is a power in the voice of man. Why not say, let us rally energy together to encourage the board to succeed? Why saying you quit? So is it that you're already behaving like some of these people who work in Enugu where I stay? You have some people watching at the traffic lights, waiting for you to break the rules. Even when your line matches the first line, you jump into your cars and then the rest is history. Is that what the ex-Eagles are waiting for the board to do? So what spirit are we creating? What success are we expecting? When we already say, go, if you don't succeed, you quit,
Maybe they are trying to be proactive.
Proactive is... I'm sorry about Nigeria. There's a way we normally... Nigeria always win for board to stay. What happens? So if everybody is going, once you fail, you quit. Then you will continue to have avalanche of revolving of and rotation and proliferation of boards. Because in football, you can't say everybody going to World Cup, no matter how. Nigerians are overrating themselves. Every country is coming to win. So instead of telling board to quit to do this, go back. Some of them are ex-Eagles. Go to the camp. Contribute. Instead of staying there waiting for them to fail. If they fail and they quit, Whatever. Who has lost? Who has won? Our attention should be to win. So this is bad energy. I don't, they are free to say, but this is not a good way to encourage people who are dealing with about 30 members of team coming from all over the world to stay, to play, to win, and you're already telling them, fail and quit. Well, if that's how Nigeria works, well, I'm still here to. Ghana receives the Nigerian, West African, US deportees.
Yes.
So Ghana is now on the dumping ground, and they reached an agreement with US. See, I don't know about our countries and in Africa. If somebody has left my village with and he didn't qualify to be in US, and they deported him and instead of coming back to my village, they put him. Ghana opened their mouth to accept them, and then the other West African countries are like, okay, good riddance or whatever. Whatever goes around will come around, because anybody that is within a Ghana is in still West Africa. The goat that is lying on the ground is lying on his skin. With porous borders, they come in and go. So it's not. This is another way of telling you that Isimpi, Nana Pampi, the head of Mpi is inside the Mpi's bag. That is what is they just managed to convince, give them small dollars, and they say, bring all of them, whether they are criminals, whether they are drug addicts, whether they are billionaires and millionaires, bring them to Ghana, we accept. So Ghana has become the new Freetown. But some people did not know how we got Freetown. That was when they were bringing back the slaves. And they dumped them there, and where they dumped them became Freetown. And those ones, out of all the missionaries that actually helped to develop Africa and bring religion, some of them were there. And they were speaking a language called the Creole. And that's how we got to see Pidgin English and all that kind of things. So Ghana is the new Freetown. Kudos, Ghana. But the Igbos must leave Ghana. But everybody who has been deported from US must come back. What a conflict. What a complex. What is happening to Africa? The African, West African nations should first come together and agree. And I think I saw a viral video where Traore of Burkina Faso is bringing some ideas of United State of Africa or whatever. But if the segments, the West, the South, the North, the East of Africa are just in confusion, how will the center hold? So it's a food for thought for all our leaders. Dangote and Nupeng.
Nupeng, yes. Another
some confusion that it brings me. Nupeng. Dangote did not contribute 1 kobo to Nupeng did not contribute 1 kobo to Nupeng setting up industry.
To Dangote.
We are in this media industry. Sorry for the mix-up, but that's it. We are in media industry. And Signature TV is a private. The people who are unionized are the ones who belong to NTA, Federal Radio Nigeria, and that's where you can. They are civil servants. You can be a worker in the Signature TV and somewhere Nigerian Union of Journalists working here. They can only plead with us to either join them willingly, individually, or as a chapel. But you can't come and whatever they call it, what they do at the labor unions, to come and picket Signature TV and say your staff are not union what? Why is Nupeng, if they have clear mind for Nigeria, want Dangote people truck drivers to be unionized?
Yes.
Why didn't they give them chance of belong to a union? If it's for welfare, individually pay your dues. Why are they forcing the man? Is it part of his what they call it, of rule of engagement? That they employ you as a driver to drive a tanker in Nupeng, in Dangote, then union corridor around. That tells you whatever Dangote wants, Nupeng wants from Dangote, it is not to the interest of Nigerians. They want a situation of putting everybody in Nigeria into a ponder. So when they say strike, their worry is that they will say strike and then Dangote is still supplying. So they want strike, everybody. If you know where you wash your body, go and wear your clothes there. If Nupeng works for NNPCL and all the refineries that are not working and they are lifting the fuel if they want to sign a special agreement to be lifting, Dangote have not said your drivers cannot come and lift well enough. But you can't force my drivers to. That's my understanding.
Yes.
I can't be right or wrong. I'm saying Nupeng is wrong in this instance for now. That and this they are using for it will not work. It's either they employ the drivers for Dangote, pay them, and decide where they belong. Because the rule of who pays the piper. I cannot employ staff. You come and tell them must be, and they are not contributing to their welfare, the salary. You're not even contributing to how you run the organization, and this hardship and hunger, the environment, the unconducive environment to run business in Nigeria. You come and start giving me orders, and then you go on strike. They're free to go on their own strike. Must all Nigeria go on strike? We should watch what we do. Yeah. Otherwise, I don't know, a better video. I don't see it in Nigeria, and I think it's deliberate. What is going on in India recently? What is going on in India? Nobody wants to show it in Nigeria, but Nigeria is also in the world. We are seeing it. We are seeing what is happening in India. And some people think, was the argument while we were talking, that's off record anyway. They say, this kind of thing. I say, if you are alive, my father said, Angonanga, don't say you not go to prison until the colonial masters go. Angonanga no Yiba Naro. Don't say you can never go to prison when the Yibo people are still around. That is proverb of born and silence. So let nobody say that what has happened in Ghana, what has happened in India, what happened in Pakistan, all these places where we have mass riot. We push a goat to the wall, you can bite.
Yes.
That's a word for those who have ears, letting ears.
So 2027, Jonathan meets Obi.
Yeah, this is a private visit. Where are people catching cold? A politician went to visit politician. Everywhere these people go, they want us to come here and discuss what happens. Yeah, Obi, a gentleman, visit another gentleman, and when they discuss the gentleman issues, and they say it's behind closed doors, they are talking about the goodness of Nigeria. Is this something that we should worry about? Please, such meetings, go back, meet every day. Jonathan Obi, meet every minute. Discuss about the goodness of Nigeria, because we think that you people have shown us that you have some milk of human kindness, that anything you say might have some relationship on how we as ordinary Nigerians can benefit. Case closed.
Simple.
Any other one is political. Whether they meet for anything, these are why insecurity of politicians. They are restless run. Politicians, if you go to anywhere, they gather. If you want to try politics, even as journalists, you go into their midst to cover the event. If you meet your fellow journalists and crop together want to talk, a politician will want to say what you are doing. What are you saying? Everybody phone clocks to talk. Politicians are constantly insecure because they know they are not sincere. They're always selfish, planning. So anywhere you see those who are visit, they want to know, hey, Chris Madeka visited Lillian, hey, Obi visited Jonathan, hey, this one visited Babangida. Why are they not reporting about flooding in Katsina? Who visited the victims?
Yes.
What did they get? Why are they not talking about killings in Zamfara and Yobe, where the people 83 mass buried yesterday? Who has visited them? Why is it not being talked about? These are Nigerians, 83, just yesterday. Why are issues happening? Issues, motherless babies from orphanages. Who among the politicians has visited them and go to the news? When Obi meet Jonathan, they want me to come here and waste saliva, and they can as well meet, continually meet. That's my stand on that.
ADC leadership.
ADC leadership. Yeah, they say one bed. No. The bed in Igbo land, is bed. But when a small bed has not pitched and it has dumped a huge mountain of dung, ADC, before we say ADC, they already fighting who below that. So you think, remember what I keep saying, it is all why I'm going to work as the juju concoction that the Dibia know is totally that's the way they go and bring me the intestine of an ant. You imagine when you go searching for intestine of an ant as a part of the part for juju. So this ADC, already trailing part of complexity. Before they even say A, they've gone to court. Before they say D, they are coming back and talking about who become. Before they see the C, complexity that is going to take them to destruction, like PD. I don't know what or we DP or we DP. So they are building, like usual. If you are a blacksmith, you don't know how to make a metal gong. You look at the tail of a talon. So later this, you look at the tail of PWD or PDP, and then go to court, continually go to court until 2007 will come and go. The court continues, and they go to court. Court is there. They will continue to go to court. If they do not feel like the legendary useless man, they say they will kill you. They will go to set you ablaze. The useless man went and took his morning bath with fuel. In this hardship and hunger and how costly fuel is, that is what awaits ADC. Let them go ahead. They can go to court as far as I'm concerned. People are watching.
Right. Chris, on the Guardian, we're seeing this issue of open defecation crisis worsens and threatens 2030 sanitation targets.
That is, we have had since as a child. If I tell you how many years I've been in this world, you marvel. Don't mind me. I have this baby face. I am an old man. I'm a Christian father. Since I started growing up in Nigeria, if it's not House for All in 2002 came and gone. No single house in the name of House for All. Operation Feed the Nation came. That the nation will be, Operation Feed the Nation came. Nothing. In fact. So, when they say 2000 are giving us date for defecation, since this African nation started, our people have been defecating in the open. And what did they say in the open? Forests and some backyards.
Yes.
So why is it a problem for us? Is it? Nigeria is about 60-something years after independence. Before 1914, we have been defecating somewhere, and we have not all died. That is not our issue. This is distraction. I want in development work. Some people want to look for what they use to tell somebody is bringing money into Nigeria to fight open defecation. Let them bring money for us to fight insecurity. Leave us with open defecation. Maybe you don't even know. You see an old woman who sat with legs apart. You say, "Madam, close your legs." Do you know where the woman breathes from? If it's open defecation that give us image and morale, let's ask us which one is our major issue, so you solve it for us. All these things are distracting. Do you think open defecation in Nigeria? Our cities are developing. As these cities are developing, things are coming in. Yeah, open defecation might come in as long sanitation and wash issues we have. We'll deal with them as they come. Because almost everybody in Nigeria has built houses and they're building water flush, pour and flush toilets. In mud houses, people are poor. Where is the water? Which utility that produce water in Nigeria works 24 hours to give you water to flush toilet? Why won't people? When you have gone to build those, some local women say is the one they use glass to build where you shit. We do not decorate where we shit. We dig pits, and we do. That's what we do, and we do those ones. So when this one failed, we dig another one in communities. But they brought this idea, and when they brought those, when there's no water and your house is smelling everywhere, you go to open. Have they solved? If you want to solve fight, then solve the first or push. Did they tell us that water, all the utilities, water utilities in Nigeria will start working in 2030? No, but open defecation, nonsense. It's not true. It's not true. Why they take this? Don't distract us. We open defecation and then we know the sanitation issues and are allied with it. Some of us that worked in that sector, but it's not issue. Flooding, have they talked about it? Then you open defecation. Flooding, nobody's talking about it. If you solve the first problem first, every other thing will fall in place. Where are the housing? If people have houses and they have the WC toilets, water closet toilets, and water to flush when they go to toilet, will they go to the, who will see where to, but somebody see about the church, the government are not ashamed. They are talking about this. They think if you say it, even if you stop people, where will they? God has made it that once you go through here, you must come out somewhere. And that's even when they do in politics. When they swallow the Nigerian money through here, they still go there. Some of them in their villages don't have water. So when they visit once, they go and buy water to a politician, big man has come. And these are people who go to Abuja talking about pondification.
All right, Chris.
And we'll worry about it in 2030. 2027 is our target. Have you defeated? Have you, which one do you want to talk about? Have you joined another party? Which party? Are you going to court and say DC, PDP, as they sort out their national Congress? And these are their issues. And that's what they should talking about. How many people are registering and going to vote registration update and all. Because Katsina, Abuja City, and all the local men are hit by flood.
Yes.
Nobody's talking about that. They're telling us of vacation.
All right, Chris, because of time, there's this headline about Fubara's return. 6 days to Fubara's return.
From London.
Fubara has become a star. We are waiting for Fubara, our suspended governor, and we are going to welcome him into deception. In a grand style. So what is trendy about Fubara? They should hide themselves in shame. If he had gone to US, we didn't know. Why is it when he's coming that is going to become that? Why is it he's returning back to his position that his people elected him, supposed to be celebrated? Who removed him? Was it deception? This all calculated attempt, they're all made to sound as if they play politics with everything. But they want to hide the shame they created for Nigeria and want to make Fubara return and say, is Fubara coming as Pope? He's just going to go back. If I were him, I come back, I go to court, I must complete my tenure. So that will change the election voting. Peter Obi did it. If you move me from my 4-year statutory, whatever you might not sit, I must complete it. Because you can't, he can't come back and say, when he finished, say he finished his tenure. Fubara, as far as I'm concerned, has not finished, cannot finish. If he's going to go when the 4 years is going, he has 6 good months. With all the interest, you know, in politics, 1 month has interest. Because the money that the state is about, they should calculate all of them and make sure that Fubara completes his tenure. Because he's not going to go. So they have changed the political atmosphere. They have dropped the bomb, and it's going to roll over time.
All right.
Well, Chris, we'll just end it here for now because of time.
Do you still want to end it?
Yes,
why not?
Have to.
But
all right.
I actually wanted you to talk about the court sentence of the Ansar leader Mahmoud Osman to 15 years imprisonment. But because of time,
it was delayed. We are saying if a court in Finland, within how many months they were able to finish with the Simon Ekpa case. Why should these ones in Nigeria take us years to? Is it that the Agoba is not sharp, or is it Mwambeke that don't know? The criminal slowness of criminal justice in Nigeria is a case justice delayed, justice denied. But all the same, that is something, at least they've begun to say that they are doing something, but the timing is critical because time na money. God bless all of you, Lillian. You guys, with this Nigerian has brought in sweat to my body, even and for all of you that watched, we say God bless you and God keep blessing you. But remember, God's blessing is for all those who deserve
to be blessed. Thank you. Thank you so much, Chris Maduka, for that interesting review this morning. And Signature Morning will be right back to you. Do stay tuned.
Every second, every minute, every day, news is breaking, events occur, and there are new developments. At Signature TV, we follow these stories objectively, bringing all sides without bias, explaining the complex issues, breaking down the numbers, and investigating the issues behind the news. Anywhere and everywhere, near or far, Wherever the news is, we will be there. Signature TV. News in your pocket.